So in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how I use the filter Liquify to get two effects in my drawing. One will be the background, and two will be the clouds you see in the picture. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you the clouds. We're going to take the quick selection tool, and I'm just going to quickly go around the vase to select the background. Then I'm going to use a shortcut using Control, Shift, and I to get the inverse of my selection. After I take the inverse, I'm going to select the delete button, and it'll pop up a fill menu. By selecting OK, you'll delete what you have selected, and the image will try and best correct itself to match the background that you already have. As you notice, you can see that I have a carpet, and you'll notice that when I decide to delete the vase, you can kind of get this carpety feel. Now I'm just going to undo that selection, and I'm going to use another shortcut using Control J, and Control J will just duplicate the layer you have, but it will only duplicate what you have selected. So I'm going to use it twice to get two layers of just the vase. And for easier demonstration, I'm deleting the vase again from the background so we can kind of get a feel for what the vase will look like after I'm done editing it in the two layers. The first thing you want to do is you want to select the erasing tool on the first layer. Now this will be the lower layer of the picture. You're going to take the erasing tool and you're going to erase the edges of the vase. Now you can use a custom brush that has some fading effects, or you can just use a preset brush that has different edges to it. So you don't want to use just the plain eraser tool. You'll want to use probably, like I'm using in this tutorial, the leaf, or you can use a wave, or the erasing tool that is kind of scattered a bit. Now the leaf one that I'm selecting has a scattering effect, so as I'm moving my brush, it will just erase different parts of it randomly. But if you use a brush that isn't like that, you can have more control of how you delete the vase. But what you want to do is you want to delete the edges first and then move towards the inside of the vase. By doing this, the outside will be more dispersed than it will the middle. And that's the effect we kind of want for how I did it in my photo. Now if you go to the second layer, we're going to do a very similar thing, but we're going to use the liquefying effect. And by using the liquefying effect, we can move the vase but still keep some of the coloring. So when you select Filter and Liquify, a menu will pop up with just the layer you have selected. Now what I'm doing is I take from the vase and I'm going to push it towards the edge of the picture. By doing this, it will stretch out the vase, but it'll also bring in some of the coloring that we need. Now there's other tools you can use. There's also the Reconstruct Tool and the Smoothing Tool. The Smoothing Tool will take sharp edges or colors and it will try and smooth it out. So you can see here I'm just taking some of the edges, smoothing them out, or if I don't want a certain line in there, I can smooth it out to make it all one color. The Reconstruct Tool essentially brings back the picture to how it originally was. It can help if you want to bring back a color, if you know where it was in the original picture, or it can completely make it so that you have a certain part of the picture that's still the same, even if you want the rest of it to be pushed around. Once you're done with your liquefying, you'll just want to select OK, and you'll notice that you now have the original vase and the vase that is stretched out. On the stretched out vase, you're going to take the erasing tool and do the exact same thing you did to the first layer by erasing the edges first and then moving towards the middle. And by doing this on both layers, you'll actually get more density in closer to the vase than you will the outside of the vase, which kind of helps with the scattering effect. And this is how you get a scattered vase or a dispersing vase, however you want to say it. The second picture, I'm going to be using the candlestick that I used for my background. And we're going to do similar things that we did to the vase. We're just going to do the quick select tool, take from around the candlestick, and then we're going to use Control, Shift, and I to get the inverse of our selection. After taking the inverse, we're just going to delete it so that we get a more blue background. And one thing you can do with the filter liquify effect is if you click on filter, you'll notice that there's now two liquefies. If you click on the top one, it will just do an exact copy of the previous liquify that you did before. So you notice that the bottom half of the candlestick has been untouched, but the top has been stretched out a bit, because that's what we did to the vase. But if you go back to the second liquify, while still having a selection, you'll notice this red bit. And the red part means it's something you can't affect using Liquify. So you'll notice I'm going across everything from left to right, and you'll notice only the candlestick has been affected, which can get some for interesting coloring effects. But for the background, what I did is I just used Liquify, and I'm going to be moving it within a circle. So you notice I'm just going in a clockwise circle, and you'll notice at the edges I'm actually pulling the picture where it doesn't exist. And so that brings in the transparent effect. Now, to get rid of it, you can either use the Reconstruct Tool, or what I did is I just kept using the pushing tool, and I just pushed the transparency back to the edge so you couldn't see it anymore. And that's how I use the Liquify in my project. Hope this helped you, and can't wait to see what you do.